Let's start this off with a quote from Winston Churchill. Never, ever, 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 ever give up. I like Winston Churchill, but in this case, I'm calling bullshit. There are times in life when you need to just throw in the towel. In today's video, I'm talking about when it's okay to quit. Now, really quick, I want to redeem Winston Churchill. He has another quote that goes like this: never give up on something that you can't go a day without thinking about. I like this one better, and I think it better encapsulates what most people are talking about when they say, don't quit, don't be a quitter. When your parents, when your coach, when your friends, when they tell you not to quit, what they're really saying is don't quit before you've given it your all, before you've given it a fair shot. Don't quit too early. And I agree, before you quit, you need to give it a fair chance and you need to try multiple solutions. That being said, I want to lay out 7 situations in which it's okay to walk away from that job, from that relationship. First up, you fulfilled your obligation. You accomplished mission. So any Game of Thrones fans out there, spoiler alert, I'm about to talk about Jon Snow and his fate. So Jon Snow, he has made a commitment to the Night's Watch that unto death he will serve. Well, guess what? When he dies, he has fulfilled his obligation. So when he comes back from the dead, he actually rightfully can leave the Night's Watch because he has fulfilled his watch. Now, in my case, I have decided to quit when it comes to my Menfluential conference. Yes, I am closing Menfluential. This will be the last year. Why? Because I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to bring together all of the creators from around the world in the men's lifestyle space. We've done this for 7 years. I want to go off and do other things. It takes up a lot of resources. I don't make any money with this thing. So I'm like, you know what? I have had a great time. Let's have one more party, which I will link to Menfluential down in the description. If you've ever wanted to attend, this is the year to do it. But guys, I want to wrap it up. I have accomplished mission. I have accomplished what I wanted to do, and I'm ready to simply move on and quit. Next up, let's talk about deception. If you have been lied to, if you have been deceived, you have all the right in the world to move on and to quit. So a lot of you guys I know have had jobs in which you've been promised promotions. You've been promised career opportunities. You've been promised a raise, and it never happened. Well, guess what? You have all the right in the world to quit that job and to move on. Another quick story about deception in a relationship. I had a good friend. He's in a relationship with a woman. They're getting really close, and come to find out, she had actually just gotten out of a divorce. She never told him this. This was very important to this guy because he wanted to experience and go through marriage for the first time with somebody that he could trust. And if someone doesn't reveal that information, even though, oh, you never asked specifically, that's a pretty important detail, don't you think? So he felt deceived and decided to end the relationship. Next up, this job, this project, this relationship is no longer what you want. So you've changed over the last couple of years. When you first took that job, you loved to travel 2 to 3 times a month. Sure, send me around the world. I love it. But since then, you've gotten married. Okay, it's been a little bit hard on the marriage, but you've made it work. This is such a great job. But now all of a sudden you've got a child that's on the way and you realize, you know what? I want to see my kid grow up. I want to be around more. And you realize this job, they're still going to have you travel at least 2 to 3 times a month. You're not going to be able to get out of this. So guess what? You need to go find something new. And let's talk about that 5-year relationship you've been in with your girlfriend. You guys met in college, your senior year. You thought she was perfect. Now, 5 years later, you really are not sure. This is someone that you had a lot in common with then. Now you're very career driven. You've actually become more active in your church. You found that she's gone away from all that. She really just wants to go off and explore the world. She wants to travel. You want to stay in New York City and focus on your career. Guys, is this going to work? You really are going to have to take a step back and say, you know what? Is this relationship worth keeping? And again, before you call it quits, really understand what is the true cause of the unhappiness, especially in a relationship like that. Don't throw it away, but you need to be able to face the truth. Am I just staying in this relationship because I'm scared to make change? Because I've known this person so long? Because I'm scared to go out there and date? I'm scared to go out there and find somebody new. Now, this next point is really painful because I know so many guys that are in this situation. They have worked hard. They have tried everything. They don't recognize they are in an impossible situation. They've got a really, really bad boss. Someone that doesn't recognize, takes their credit for everything this person does. And they just don't see that they are in a situation they're never going to be able to outwork themselves out of. The hardest part with the impossible situation scenario is that we don't see it as an impossible situation. We just see it as a temporary roadblock. One of the best things you can do is get an outside opinion. Talk to people you trust. What are the roadblocks holding me back? When you see again and again people saying, you know what, you've surrounded yourself with those friends that are just pulling you down, and you hear 5 people tell you this, guys, that's an alarm that should be going off. When you have people telling you, you know what, you are just being held back by that job. So find the courage to be able to get that evaluation from your friends, from your family, from people you really trust, and then take action to break out of it. Now, this next situation is very similar to that last one, but instead of it being an impossible situation, you're actually just the wrong person for the relationship, the wrong person for the job. This happens a lot when people take on a new job. They think it's going to be amazing. They get into it and they realize, I am the wrong person for this. I thought it was going to be one thing and it's something else. Now, if you recognize this early on, you get into a relationship, you start something, and then, gosh, this is bad, and you know it within a week, within 2 weeks. You need to have the courage to recognize, I am the wrong person here, and to step out. If you think that you're doing a favor by not leaving, by simply just going along, the problem here is you're not putting in your all, and you're really going to pull down that position. You're going to hurt the company if you really don't want to be there, and if you're just buying your time till you can find something else. The next situation that could justify you walking away, you throwing in the towel, if you are in a toxic environment, and this has been going on for a long time. If you are being abused in a relationship or at your job, you need to step back. You need to recognize what this is and get out of that relationship. So if you're at a job in which everyone is taking the credit, your boss is a bully, he's jumping in and he's yelling at you, you're in a relationship that is so bad that you've considered taking your own life. Guys, and there are people that are in relationships like this. This is not normal. You need to step out of it, go get help. Please talk to a professional. There are numbers, there are hotlines. You need to take care of yourself. You will not be able to live a life in a relationship like this. It's going to come back to you. It is not something that is healthy for anyone to be in a toxic relationship. So now let's talk about happiness. You're going to hear a lot of people say, if you are unhappy, yeah, you should quit your job. You should end that relationship. My answer is that's a bunch of BS. It's not happiness that you want to be looking at. It should be fulfillment. It should be purpose. Do you actually get a deep satisfaction from this relationship, from adding and contributing to it? You see, human beings shouldn't be happy all the time. That's not a natural state. We have variations in our moods. But it is something when you get into a relationship, when you're doing a job, it should be something that, yes, you find fulfillment in that job. I used to actually work for the Parks and Recreation Department in Midland, Texas when I was 18. I remember, how can I get satisfaction out of digging ditches? I did that because you know what? Every day I showed up and I'm going to learn one thing. That's what my aunt told me. And I showed up, I'm going to learn today how to actually dig a ditch properly because there's a lot that goes into this. I'm going to learn how to properly get in there and adjust the pipes down in there. And there were things I learned every day. And before I knew it, the summer went by and I learned a lot about what goes into work like this. The point is, be careful of chasing happiness, chasing newness. So many people end a great relationship simply because it wasn't exciting. And they realize a year out, wow, I made a big mistake. Gents, you can find satisfaction, you can find purpose, you can find meaning in even the most mundane tasks out there. That being said, if you can't possibly find fulfillment in what you're doing in this relationship, then yes, you should reconsider it. So what video to watch next? How about this? The Menfluential 2019 recap. Go grab your ticket if you've ever wanted to meet me, Aaron Marino, any of the guys that you see online talking about men's lifestyle. They are all coming to this conference. It's the last year, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. I would love to see you there.